Oh, look, it's gaming journalism not understanding the point again. If you haven't heard, this is the story that's being tossed around the video game industry right now, which is Immortals of Avium proves it's a grim time for single player games. Immortals of Avium is an EA single player magic first person shooter game that was released last year, which apparently has completely bombed. I hate to see it. I hate to see people that lose their jobs and see a game that people put their heart and soul into bomb because of poor choices. And I'm not saying it's because of the developers. No, in this case, it is all on EA. EA released this game doing damn near no marketing because I completely forgot this game was coming out. I remember seeing a trailer for it once and then nothing on this game. I thought it looked cool, like a first-person magical based shooter. Like I could throw, magic spells like Doctor Strange around. Hell yeah, I'm down for that. But we all know that EA has a awful thing called timing. Remember Titanfall 2 on how it was released right in the middle? I mean, I kid you not, right in the middle between Battlefield's release that year and Call of Duty's release that year. That game was sandwiched between the two first-person shooter juggernauts and died because of it. Even though, in my opinion, Titanfall 2 was the superior shooter that year and is still one of the best first-person shooters. Like, campaign and multiplayer-wise, it is one of the best. They did the same thing with Immortals of Avium. They released it the same time as Baldur's Gate 3. And we know what happened with Baldur's Gate 3. Everyone wouldn't stop talking about it. It won Game of the Year. And unfortunately, because of all the hype surrounding that game, this game was completely forgotten. Now, I know there's also talks about how the budget was about $125 million, and how that just was completely insane of how expensive that game is. Like, developers need to focus and find a way to lower development costs because the amount of money they're pumping into these games just seems unreasonable to me. But anyway, yes, the game is a flop. Hell, I saw it at Walmart for like $25 brand new. I would buy it, but I'm also unemployed at the moment, so I can't really justify spending a bunch of money on games right now, even though I honestly would for that price. But it also just comes down to, right now we live in a world where everything costs more. And for us to spend $70 on a game, we have to feel like we're getting our money's worth out of it. And with a lot of people, they probably didn't know this game existed. So why would they spend their money on it? Though a lot of people did say after playing it, they felt the game was pretty mediocre, mid, like definitely not worth the $70. And that goes into another conversation of not every game deserves to be $70. Persona 3 Reload. I've been obsessed with this game. I am now 35 hours into this game, and I can tell I still have a bit of ways to go. For that game being $70, I know I'm getting my money's worth. But a game where I can beat the campaign in about 10 to 15 hours from what I've been seeing, not really worth $70. But sorry, that rant kind of went a bunch of places. But the main point is that once again, journalists are trying to paint the idea that single-player games are not a good investment when they absolutely are. Last year alone, we had some of the best single-player games, whether they be remakes, or remasters, or brand new IPs, or brand new games. We had some amazing just single-player games. We had the Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4 remake, Baldur's Gate 3, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So many amazing games. Persona 3 Reload. There's so many amazing single-player games that are absolutely worth the money, but unfortunately not every game is the same. This game was not worth $70. It just wasn't as good as a lot of other single-player games that have come out recently, and that's okay. But you can't say just because this game flopped that all single-player games are bad or not going to be worth making. Because not everyone wants to play multiplayer games. No one wants to play live service games all the time. Come on. It's Kotaku, though. They're fucking awful.